So hey guys, it's KMCers. I'm Kirsten and welcome back to another true crime video. So today we are going to be talking about a Native American woman named Selena Not Afraid. So let's just jump right into this story. So Selena Shelley Faye Not Afraid was born on June 18th of 2003. She was 16 years old. She was from Harding, Montana. She had parents named Jacqueline Big Hair and Leroy Sheila Not Afraid. She did have some siblings, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about them. So in 2014, her twin sister Zoe ended up committing suicide at the age of 11. In 2017, Preston David Bell, who was her brother, was intoxicated and ran from the police and ended up getting shot and killed by the police. He was only 25 years old. And in 2018, her big sister Tristan Janray Marie Gray was involved in a hit and run. No one has been charged with that hit and run, but she was only 22. She also has some other siblings: Cree, Destiny, Ava, RJ, and Toby. I actually think that RJ is the only full sibling she has. I believe the other ones are like half siblings. So she also went to Harding High School as she was a junior. She was described as a sweet, silly, fun, loving, everyone's best friend. She also loved her horse Wart. She loved to do beading, sewing, baking. She loved makeup. She loved to be with her friends and family. She also played basketball and volleyball. So now let's just jump right into the incident. So on December 31st of 2019, Selena went to a New Year's Eve party in Billings, Montana. She ended up drinking and stayed the night that night as she didn't want to drive. And on January 1st of 2020, Selena and 4 other people at the party got into a car and started to head home to Harding, Montana. And halfway through their drive, their car started having troubles, so they ended up stopping at a rest stop just off of Interstate 90. Selena ended up getting out and started to walk into a field, but she was also not dressed for the weather, as she was only wearing a black coat, gray sweater, blue jeans, and gray boots. So they ended up getting the car running again, but at this point they couldn't find Selena. So the driver decided to leave one of the girls named Arlena to stay back and look for Selena, and he would have a family member come and pick them up 10-15 minutes behind them. So the other 3 ended up leaving. So the family member showed up to pick up the 2 girls, and when she got there, Arlena and Selena were both missing. She ended up looking around and did find Arlena with scratches and no shoes in a ditch. She also had no memory of what had happened or where she was. They ended up contacting Selena's family, and Selena's family ended up contacting the authorities to report her missing. So now let's just jump right into the investigation. So an eyewitness ended up seeing that Selena had started to run into a field just near the rest stop. So police started to search that area with ATVs, horses, even on foot, and they couldn't find anything all throughout the night. They ended up starting the search again the next day, and this time they added some helicopters, but they also didn't find anything with that. At this point, they also started to interview the other people that were in the car with her, to kind of trace her steps and to find out where she would be. Arlena, the girl that stayed back with her, had a Snapchat of a video of kind of the last time Selena was seen alive. Ended up saying that Selena was fighting with a man named Wade Oldcrow. That has not been confirmed. And none of the people that were in the car with her ended up helping search for her at all. So the last person to see Selena was Arlena, and she kind of just went ghost on social media. She ended up moving out of her house in the middle of the night. Selena also told the police that someone was trying to get to them, but during this process they got separated. Selena and her got separated by a fence, and Selena ended up running in the opposite direction. But also those people also said that she was taken back to Hardin, but all their stories are very conflicting, so they didn't exactly believe them. So Selena's family, who have been involved with the search, also expressed how grateful they were that all these people were looking for her daughter, but they were getting really concerned about the temperature, as it was getting pretty cold at night, and it is in the middle of the winter at this point where we live. So 3 days of searching. They also included a thermal drone in that search, but again, they did not find anything. But they also still doubted that she would walk very far from the rest stop, so they didn't think that the area that they needed to search was very big. They ended up impounding the van that they were driving and did a search inside of it, and nothing suspicious came out to them. Hardin High School gathered at the rest stop to make posters and kind of keep up the spirits of trying to find Selena. They ended up hanging up those posters on the fence at the rest stop. Officers ended up bringing the FBI to kind of help them in this search because Arlena had stated that they had been separated and somebody was coming after them. They did say that they were looking for a green a green Subaru with a Wyoming license plate. They also started to investigate the house that was in Billings that threw the party, kind of trying to backtrack what she was doing, what happened. Flyers and social media kind of went crazy with spreading the word of her disappearance. They even set up a GoFundMe to help fund for them to keep searching for her. And at this point they started to just believe that she was abducted and at this point taken out of the state, as they've been looking and still couldn't find her. They even brought in canine units to look for her, and they still had no idea where she was. So 3 weeks later, on January 20th of 2020, at 10:30 in the morning, volunteers were searching an area where they had found Selena's body less than a mile from the rest stop in a field of where that witness had said she ran into. And at this point, people started to get really outraged by the investigation and by authorities and their police work with this whole thing. The Senate of Montana ended up saying a statement. You can pause to read it if you like. But on January 21st of 2020, family and friends held a visual where everybody ended up wearing red in support of Selena. Her autopsy came back as she had suffered from hypothermia, and foul play ended up getting ruled out because there was no evidence of tire tracks, no people tracks, no markings on her body, and they believe that the body was not moved. So on January 26th of 2020, Selena was laid to rest. 1,500 people ended up attending her funeral, and her casket was brought to the cemetery by her horse Wart, which I thought that is so cool that they involved her horse. But everything that's coming out, the family just believe that it's just not true. None of it is true. So Cheryl Bighorn, which is Selena's aunt, had said that her body was definitely moved. She was there searching for 24/7, and eyewitnesses walked that same area multiple times and never found her. And in December of 2020, Deandra Pittman was charged with endangering the welfare of minors. Deandra ended up inviting Selena to the party in the intent that they were going to be consuming alcohol. So Cheryl Bighorn at this point has now become a NNIW activist. And here is like the outrage and the theories behind Selena's disappearance and murder, or disappearance and death, I guess. So people find it strange that they had searched that area multiple times and that they never found her body until now. A hunter had also stated that if you shot an animal and had injured it or in any kind of way and you couldn't find it, and then went back within the next week and saw birds flying around, that you would find the animal that you had shot and, you know, find the animal that you had shot and killed. So the fact that there was no birds around this whole body thing was very, very strange, and did not make any sense at all, as she had been out there for 20 days and apparently there the whole entire time. So her jacket, her phone, and all of her belongings were not found on the ground. It was just her body. Which is kind of weird, because if she did have like a purse with her or something, you'd find it with her, but they didn't. Her mother said that she was at the rest stop within the first hour of Selena going missing, and if Selena was only found 3/4 of a mile away, that if her mother was yelling for her, she would definitely be able to hear her mother yelling for her. And there's also no way, being that it was 50 degrees outside, that she would have just laid down and just froze to death. Within 1 hour is what they were claiming. So she also just wouldn't be laying down for 20 days and no one actually noticing it. And then they also brought up that this whole plot line is very similar to a movie called Wind River, where a Native American woman is found dead, and that a veteran ended up helping, or tried to help, or ended up helping find out what happened to her and her murder. So it's very, very strange. So now I'm just gonna leave you guys with your own thoughts on this whole case. I'm gonna leave you with some photos of beautiful Selena, and I will see you in the outro. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below what case I should do next, and subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on the bell notifications so you're notified when we post every Tuesday and Friday. This is KMC Whatever, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.